When a weld goes wrong, the problem is usually obvious before the part even cools down. The bead may be too tall and overfilled. It may wander off the joint line. It may have cold-lapped edges, ugly stop-start marks, excessive spatter, or a shape that simply looks rough and amateur compared to a clean factory weld. In some cases, the weld may still be structurally acceptable, but visually, it looks terrible. In other cases, the weld profile is so uneven that it interferes with fitment, prevents another part from sitting flat, or creates stress risers where sharp lumps and uneven transitions concentrate load. This is where carbide burrs become one of the most useful repair and cleanup tools in a welder's shop. A carbide burr allows you to go back into the damaged or ugly weld area, remove excess filler metal in a controlled way, reshape the weld bead and surrounding joint, blend the transition between base metal and filler, and turn a rough, overbuilt repair into something that looks intentional and close to factory finished. The key advantage is control. Instead of using a large grinding wheel that can flatten everything too aggressively, a carbide burr can target exactly the high spots, misaligned sections, undercut edges, and lumpy buildup that need correction without removing more metal than necessary. The first step in fixing a bad weld with a carbide burr is to inspect the weld closely and decide whether the issue is purely cosmetic or if there is a real weld defect that needs to be cut out and re-welded. If the weld has severe porosity, lack of fusion, visible cracking, contamination, or obvious structural weakness, cleanup alone is not enough. That weld may need to be removed and redone. But if the weld is basically sound and the main issue is appearance, excess buildup, poor shape, or interference with fitment, then a carbide burr is ideal for cleanup and correction. Start by securing the part so it cannot move while you work. This matters because carbide burrs cut fast, and any movement can cause chatter, gouging, or loss of control. Use a die grinder with a burr shape that matches the repair. A flame-shaped burr or tree-shaped burr works well for blending along a bead and reshaping contour transitions. A cylindrical burr with an end cut is useful for flattening high spots or leveling a weld on a straight seam. A ball or radius end burr can help feather difficult corners and curved joints. Before touching the weld, mark the problem areas visually. Identify where the bead is too high, where it drifted off-center, where the toes of the weld are too abrupt, and where spatter or lumps are ruining the appearance. This helps you remove metal with a plan instead of just grinding blindly. The first real cutting stage is grinding down the overfilled weld bead. This is where the carbide burr shines because it can remove filler metal faster than a hand file and with more precision than a large abrasive wheel. Hold the die grinder firmly and begin working on the tallest, ugliest sections of the weld bead first. Keep the burr moving so it doesn't dig a trench in one spot. The goal at this stage is not to make the weld pretty yet. The goal is simply to knock down the excess height and bring the bead closer to the surrounding metal. If the weld is heavily overfilled, work in light passes, checking your progress every few seconds. Rather than trying to force the burr through the weld in one heavy cut, skim the surface and gradually peel down the filler. On a bad weld, you often have sections where the bead is piled too high at starts and stops, where the welder paused too long, or where the torch angle dumped extra filler into one area. Use the burr to level those humps first. As the bead gets lower, begin following the seam line more carefully so the weld profile becomes even from one end to the other. If there are blobs of spatter fused around the weld, the burr can flick these away cleanly while also smoothing the surrounding metal. The important part is to remove only what is necessary. You want to bring the weld into shape, not grind halfway through the joint and weaken it. Once the excess bead height is reduced, The next step is reshaping the joint so it looks intentional and functions correctly. This stage is less about simple material removal and more about restoring geometry. A bad weld often leaves the joint with an uneven crown, lopsided buildup on one side, rough transitions at the weld toes, or a seam that no longer looks centered. Use the Carbide burr to correct those shapes deliberately. If the weld wandered to one side, you can blend the heavy side down and restore a more centered appearance. If one toe of the weld rises sharply out of the base metal, feather that edge so the transition is smoother and less abrupt. If the weld created an ugly ridge where two plates meet, reshape that ridge so it follows the natural line of the joint, instead of looking like a random blob sitting on top of it. In corner joints or fillet welds, the burr can be used to smooth the face of the weld and make the fillet more even from end to end. In butt joints, it can flatten a weld cap that sits too proud and blend it into the plate so it no longer catches the eye. This is where Carbide burrs outperform many larger grinding tools. They let you sculpt the weld, not just erase it. You can work into tight areas, follow curves, clean around brackets, and refine the shape with far more precision than a flat disc alone. After the overall shape of the weld is corrected, the next phase is blending the repaired area so it looks factory. This means the weld should no longer have obvious humps, harsh edges, random gouges, or obvious repair marks that scream hand cleanup. Use lighter pressure and longer, smoother passes with the burr to remove the last of the uneven texture. Focus especially on the transition between the weld bead and the parrot metal. A factory-looking repair usually has a smooth flow from one surface into the next, rather than a hard line where the filler suddenly begins. If the part originally had a rounded contour, use the burr to restore that contour, rather than leaving flat spots from aggressive grinding. If the joint is supposed to be flush, bring the weld nearly level with the base metal while being careful not to thin the surrounding area. If the weld is supposed to retain a visible reinforcement bead, leave a slight crown, but make it even, centered, and smooth. At this point, the Carbide burr is doing finishing geometry work, taking the repaired weld from less ugly to professionally corrected. Small start-stop craters, overlap ridges, and side lumps can all be feathered away so the weld line appears consistent instead of chaotic. After Carbide burr shaping is complete, many fabricators follow up with abrasive finishing depending on the final look required. The Carbide burr does the heavy correction and precise shaping, but a flap wheel, surface conditioning disc, or finer abrasive can be used afterwards to soften burr marks and unify the finish. If the goal is a visible cosmetic repair on stainless, aluminum, automotive sheet metal, or exposed fabricated parts, this secondary finishing step helps erase the evidence of the original weld disaster. But the Carbide burr is the tool that makes the finish possible in the first place, because it handles the hard part, removing excess weld exactly where it needs to go and rebuilding the joint's visual shape through controlled cutting. Without that precision step, abrasives alone often take too long, remove too much surrounding metal, or fail to correct the bead's geometry cleanly. The reason Carbide burrs work so well for weld cleanup is simple. Weld defects are rarely uniform, and cleanup tools need to match that reality. A bad weld is not one smooth high spot that can be flattened in a single pass. It is usually a mix of overfill, drift, lumpy filler deposition, inconsistent bead height, sharp edges, spatter, and poor contour. Carbide burrs are ideal because they can attack all of those issues selectively. They cut weld metal aggressively, but they do so in a localized way. They can get into corners, follow a seam, reshape a fillet, open up a tight area, and remove material from one side of a weld without flattening everything around it. They are especially effective on steel, stainless steel, cast materials, and many hard weld deposits where ordinary abrasives can be slower or less precise. For a welder or fabricator, that means less time fighting an ugly bead and more control over how the finished repair actually looks. Instead of living with an embarrassing weld or cutting the whole thing apart, a carbide burr often gives you a practical second chance to salvage the appearance of the job. This is also exactly why Weld Gone Wrong, Can Carbide Burrs Fix This? Is such a strong topic for welders and metalworking audiences. Welders constantly deal with cleanup problems: too much filler, bad starts, ugly stops, repaired cracks, booger welds on brackets, misaligned beads on visible fabrication, and customer jobs where appearance matters almost as much as strength. People search for cleanup solutions because welding mistakes happen at every skill level, from beginners learning bead control to experienced welders fixing rushed repairs, contaminated material, awkward positions, or previous bad work done by someone else. A topic like this grabs attention because it promises a practical rescue, not just a lecture about welding perfectly the first time. The appeal is immediate. Here is a bad weld, here is the exact tool used to fix it, here is how the bead gets knocked down, reshaped, blended, and made to look far better than it did before. That combination of visible before and after transformation, plus a real shop problem, is exactly what makes carbide burr cleanup content valuable. Welders are not just looking for ways to lay a bead, they are constantly looking for ways to save a bad one, clean up a repair, and make finished work look more professional without wasting the entire part.
Thanks for watching. If you're looking for high-quality American-made carbide burr tools that are built to cut faster, last longer, and help you get the job done right, visit our website today. We keep our American-made carbide burr tools in stock and ready to ship, with same-day shipping available on orders placed before our daily cutoff time. Whether you're working on metal fabrication, porting, welding, automotive projects, or precision grinding, we've got the carbide burr you need. Visit our website and order yours today.